Today we are going to be doing function operations and composition. It is really similar to what we did yesterday, but we are going to have these expressions and function notation. So for the first one, it says f of x plus g of x, and it gives me all my f of x, g of x's, and I have h of x all up here. So I know that f of x is x squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay, plus 4x minus 1. Good, g. So this is g, and that was f. Alright, so the plus sign in between my parentheses means that I'm going to be adding these two functions together, so I just have to combine like terms. If there was no plus sign, I would be multiplying. But because there's a sign in between, I am combining. So, do I have any other x squareds? No. Do I have any other x's? Yes, negative 3x plus 4x is x. And then do I have any other numbers? Yes, 2 minus 1 is 1. Bless you.
You combine like terms when it's a negative there too?
Mm-hmm. Okay. You have to distribute the negative, but you still are going to combine. So on this one, f of x, tell me what it is again.
X squared.
Good, x squared minus 3x plus 2. And now I also have this minus 2. So I'm going to put minus 2. And then what is g of x? 4x minus 1. Now on this one, before I can start combining like terms, I need to distribute the negative 2. Because you have to multiply before you can add and subtract. So distribute the negative 2. What is negative 2 times 4x? Negative 8x. What is negative 2 times negative 1? Plus 2. And I still have f right over here. And now I'm ready to combine. So do I have any other x squareds?
No.
Do I have any other x's? Negative 3x minus 8x.
Negative 11.
Negative 11x. And 2 plus 2?
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
I think that's 4.
Yeah. All right, any questions on the first two? All right. Number 3.
Friday.
All right, number 3, we are multiplying and dividing. I've got new F, G's, and H's, and I also have a P here, but we're not going to use that one. All right. Oh, I guess we're not using the H either. Yeah, I took off some examples. All right, so tell me, what is F? 3x squared plus 6x. Okay, what is G? X plus 2. And we are multiplying these two. So I have them both in parentheses. You can do box or you can distribute. I like to distribute. So 3x squared times x. 3x cubed. 3x squared times 2. 6x squared. And then I'm going to take the 6x and distribute. So 6x times x is 6x squared. And 6x times 2, 12x. Normally you will have some terms that you can combine. So if you notice on the inside, both of these have x squareds. So I can add them up. So 6x squared plus 6x squared, 12x squared. And then I still have the plus regular 12x. All right, number 4. Ignore the restriction box. We're going to talk about that later on. We're not going to do it right now, so just ignore it for right now. All right, number 4, I am dividing. So tell me, what is my F? Very good. What is my G? x plus 2. Good. All right. So I want to simplify this. So you're going to look at the top part of your function, and you're going to try to take a GCF out, the greatest common factor. So look at these two terms here, 3x squared plus 6x. What do they both have that you can divide into both those numbers? 3. You can divide both those numbers by 3. So I'm going to pull a 3 out. What letter do they both have? An x. So I'm also going to pull an x out. So this is like the backwards of distributing.
Wait, hold on. Can you explain that again?
All right, so looking at the numbers, what can you divide both those numbers by?
You talking about the 3 and 6?
Yeah.
3.
3. So that's where the 3 is coming from. And then look at the letters. What do they both have? An x. So that's where the x is coming from. All right, so now we got to figure out what's going to go on the inside. So we divided this 3 out, so that 3 is gone. I have x squared, but I took an x out. So how many am I left with? Just an x. So I'll explain that one more time. I divided the 3 out, so that's gone. I had x squared, but I took an x out, so I'm just left with one x on the inside. Okay? So now the next term, plus 6 divided by 3 is 2. And I took an x out, so do I have anything else in there? No. So when you take the 3x, if you were to distribute it back inside, you would end up with this. For example, 3x times x is what? 3x squared. 3x times 2, 6x. Does that make sense? So it's like the backwards of distributing. Okay, and then on the bottom I have an x plus 2. So what do you notice is the exact same on the top and the bottom? The x plus 2's. So you can cancel that out and you're left with 3x.
I have a question.
What's up?
So you only do like what you just did to the like numerator. You only do that to the numerator?
You can't do it to the denominator because nothing is in common.
Well, like if it was common.
Then you would, yeah.
So when do we start subtracting like exponents and stuff and all that?
Oh, later on.
Like later on? Perfect.
All right, evaluating the function. So this is like that first one on the quiz when I'm telling you what x is and you got to plug it in. Except it's written a little differently. So f of x is 2x minus 1, and I'm saying that to evaluate f of 3. So this is what x equals. X equals 3, and all you have to do is plug it in. So 2, what am I putting in place of x? 3 minus 1. So what is 2 times 3?
6.
Minus 1?
5.
Yeah. Good old Algebra 1 review. All right, jump down to 5 and 6. So those problems are just going to be a little bit longer. Same thing though. So G is this function right here. But what am I putting in place of x? Close. Negative 3. So 2, put in negative 3 squared plus negative 3 minus 3. Why would this be negative 3? Because it's a negative 3 in there. All right, so this is the G part. All right, that's the G part.
Wait, hold on.
Did you forget the F?
I know we did.
Yeah, I haven't done F yet.
Okay.
So you know how on the top where we plug them in because it says F or whatever is 3. So you put it in the equation.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
basically here it's saying negative 3 over
You
here.
put it in a big bracket.
You put it in negative 3.
If you want.
So x is. Wait,
Yeah. If you want to put
F stuff.
X is just equal
like that, you mean?
all of them.
Yeah,
Negative
you can.
3 though.
All right, so I haven't done the F part yet. So now I have minus 2. And now I'm going to use the F function, which is right here. And what number am I plugging in for x? 5. So I have 5, and then in place of the x, I'm going to put a 5.
Whoa.
All right, if you want, you can type all that in your calculator, and it will give you your answer. If you want to split it up and type it separately, you can. Like if you want to do the blue part and then the pink part, you can. So if you type the blue part in, you should be getting 12, and then the pink part minus 50. And so then your answer is negative 38. Okay, so it's the same thing, just a little bit longer.
How did we know that it was negative 3?
It'll tell you right here in the parentheses. So in G, we're putting negative 3 in for the x, and then for the F1, we're putting 5 in.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we do like this type of problem on a test, will we have a calculator? Or will we
Mhm.
Oh, okay. never
Yeah.
mind.
50.
All right, number 6. So number 6, I'm going to be using G, and what am I plugging in for the x? 6. So 2, in place of the x, I'm going to put 6 squared plus, in place of this x, I also put 6, and then minus 3. All right. And on the bottom, I'm going to be using the function f, and what are you plugging in?
5 and
Negative 1. So 5 times negative 1. And same thing, you can type it all in at once, or if you want to do it separately, you can. But on top, I should be getting 75. And on bottom, I get negative 5. So then final answer is negative 15. Yep, there's a back. All right, any questions on that? Great. Flip it over to the back.
Negative 15, right?
Yes. All right, on the back we have composition of functions. So the composition of functions means that we're putting functions inside other functions. Where before we were putting numbers in functions, right? So we're putting functions in functions. Now, it sounds confusing, but I will take it slow. I promise, listen to me, you'll be fine.
In trigonometry.
In this class, right now you're using it. All right, first of all, the little open circle. You see how it's an open circle?
Yes.
That is not a multiplication sign. That is a composition of function sign. So it is not multiplication. What that means is that G is going in F. All right? The second letter goes inside the first letter. I'm going to explain. X is also not being multiplied. It is just the notation. So this whole thing means that G is going in F. So if you notice, it's written this way, where G is inside of the F.
So it's like the F of X and F.
Mhm. I know it looks weird, but you'll
I
see.
get it.
Yeah. All right, so if it's written with a little open circle, I would recommend rewriting that. So F is on the outside. G is on the inside. But it's not G of X. What is it?
It's a little.
G of negative 5.
Yeah, G of negative 5. So you see here, negative 5 is telling me I need to use negative 5 instead of X. So rewrite it so the G is inside. Whatever the second letter is goes inside. And now you're going to work from the inside out.
Dude, this is.
Work from the inside out.
I get it, but I hate it.
Because the G is the inside parentheses are the
What
X,
the crap
correct?
is
Yep.
happening?
You have to do
So like,
X.
So then it's
the
gonna
G
be
function
like
makes up that.
negative 5 squared
You'll
The
see.
F function makes up the G function.
minus 6.
You'll see. Let me do the example and you'll
I
see.
get it.
All right, so ignore the F part because we're going to work from the inside. We're working with the G right now. So tell me, what is the G function?
Negative 5 squared minus 6.
Yes, negative 5 squared minus 6. Up here. But in place of X, we're putting negative 5. So negative 5 squared and then minus 6, because this is the g function, but I want negative 5 in place of the x.
But then wouldn't that be the f? The x, whatever. I can't explain it, but.
Yeah. All right, so we can work this out. You can type that in your calculator if you want. And you get 19. Right? Negative 5 squared is 25 minus 6, 19.
Sure. Hold on.
We're not done yet, though.
Wait.
Mhm.
This is so.
Yes, I think so.
Now we do the F.
Yes, and so now we have to do the outside. So we did the inside, but we still got outside stuff. So now we have f of what? Of 19.
Plus 2.
Of 19, because g of negative 5 is 19. So we are going to put 19 in place of g of negative 5. Now we're using our f function. 3, what am I putting in place of x?
19.
19 plus 2
Equals 59.
equals 59.
Wow. Why did I get
Oh my god. Wow.
Alright, jump straight down to number 9.
that? So we don't have to generate.
Well, we're going back over there.
That is.
Alright, g of 2. So, the g function is x squared minus 6, but what number am I replacing x with? 2. So I have 2 squared minus 6, which gives me negative 2. 4 squared minus 6 is negative 2. Right, and so now I do h of negative 2.
Wait, H doesn't make sense.
And the h function is right here, 5 minus x.
5 minus.
So positive. So 5 plus 2.
It wouldn't
Yep.
be in parentheses.
There's 7.
You can, it won't affect it though, because you're still
It'd
subtracting.
be 5 plus 2, which
Yep.
equals 7.
Very good. 5 plus 2, which gives you 7.
I feel like I'm in kindergarten again.
Alright, so it makes sense, right?
Hold on.
Why do my teachers want me to
If I don't
find?
think too hard, it makes sense.
Those other two boxes are.
This is focus.
I don't get that.
Alright, jump over to number 9 now. So if you notice, number 9 we have x instead of a number.
Number 8.
Or sorry, yeah, number 8. We have x instead of a number, so our answer is going to have x instead of just one number. It's going to have x's in it. I'll show you.
Multiple x's?
Yeah. Alright, so first, rewrite
My head just looking at it.
it. F of g of x.
I get it.
Alright. Shh, I'm almost done. Almost done. Alright, tell me, what is g of x?
It's gonna be x cubed.
X squared minus 6. Very good. G of x is x squared minus 6. I cannot simplify that any farther. That is what g of x equals, and I do not know what x is. So you have to leave it like that.
So if x squared minus 6.
Yep, so I'll have f of x squared minus 6.
Whoa.
All right? And we are going to put the function g into f whenever there's an x. All right? So you take the x out of f and you replace what g is.
So it'd be another x squared minus
X
6.
squared minus 6.
How do I simplify this?
All right, so f is right here, right? So I have 3x plus 2. That is f. But in place of this x, you are going to put the g function, which is green. So you have 3 x squared minus 6.
Now, are we looking for x now?
It's going to be in terms of x, yeah.
So can I put in numerals? Now I've got this.
Oh, I put it minus 6.
Now I've got this. I'm looking for x.
No, you can't.
3x
Watch.
squared minus 16.
All right, so we just need to simplify this and then we're done. So you're going to distribute the 3x squared minus 18
16.
plus 2, combine like terms, 3x squared minus 16. That's as far as you can
No,
go.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
You can't solve for x because we don't know what it equals.
Yes, you can.
No, it's not because it's squared.
All right, so Lily, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you.
I thought we were gonna have to actually find
No, yeah, no, you're not going to find x. All right, let me do number 10 real fast. F of h of a. All right. Your answer will be in A's because A is right here.
Gosh darn it, this is too confusing. It says ha ha ha. Like,
Very good. So H, which is up here, would be 5 minus, and then instead of x, I'm going to put an A. 5 minus A.
Then it's gonna be 5 minus
All right, okay, and so then F,
it'll be 3. Then we put that as the x. 3, 5 minus 8.
plus 2.
okay, good. So 3,
13 minus 3a.
5 minus A,
Plus 2.
good.
So the answer is 13 minus
15.
My colors.
8. We can't see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so yes, distribute the 3, and you get 15 minus 3A plus 2. Combine like terms.
Oh, it's 17 minus 3a.
Look, she didn't just write it up there.
Cause you skipping steps and stuff. We